dreams. I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Colby Rebel Show. I am your host, Colby Rebel. So excited to see everybody tonight. I hope you are snuggled in, got your wine if you need it, your beer, your coffee. If you have kids, you might need a couple Valium. Anyhow, I hope everybody is surviving and thriving through your quarantine and really making the most of your time. You might be running out of creative ideas, so just keep going on social media to see what other people are doing and maybe use that as a bit of inspiration, right? And I know a lot of people are really tired of staying in or tired of being limited, but it is what it is. So we might as well surrender until we can all get to that place again where we can be out and about and hugging one another again one day and doing all those wonderful things, right? Try not to get too discouraged. There's a lot of people I know have been really struggling with feeling a bit down, feeling a bit discouraged. You also have to look at, your routine has been switched up. So give yourself a little bit of a break, and especially again, for those of you, who are doing the homeschool that do have kids, you're probably a little more tired just because you're using energy in a way that maybe you hadn't done previously, right? You're used to leaving the kids at school, letting them do their thing, and that gives you an opportunity. But, being in the adult workforce and then being at home homeschooling, very different dynamics and very different types of energy needed. So just give yourself a break, enjoy this while you can. I'm telling you, you're going to get back to those full work weeks and you're going to wish you had this time again. So, just try not to let the stress or the worry get to you. It isn't going to help you, right? It really isn't. It's just going to stress you out and there's nothing you can do about it except be creative in how you spend your time. And if you're self-employed, if you're one of those, think of new ways, think of ways to help others or to bring in a little bit of income for yourself. Maybe that is going online, maybe offering something free, maybe just putting it out there, right? So much you can do. It's just about stretching yourself, putting it out there, and being optimistic. I mean, being optimistic is so important in keeping that vibration stable, keeping it higher, not letting yourself sink into that worry, into that fear, kind of feeding that little ego that can really get the best of us, can it? So, a couple things coming up. Listen, if you are a beginner, lucky for you, I am doing a beginner's workshop next Wednesday. I'm so excited for this beginner's workshop. It's going to be really, really fun. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You don't even have to be at a level. You don't even have to know whether or not you have a gift. Just come and join us. It's going to be working on your intuition, understanding psychic, understanding mediumship, connecting to spirit, connecting to a loved one in spirit. So, really give yourself an opportunity to play a little bit. You might be amazed at how fun you have, right? And it's a great time to try something new. So, if you've never done anything like that, give yourself a chance, give yourself an opportunity to play a little bit, play with like minded friends, and it will be online. So you can do it in the comfort of your home. And we've got a nice group signing up for it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I am going to take some callers tonight because it is our date night and we got to do it. You can call in at 310 997 4966. 310-997-4966. If you have gotten through in the past few weeks, please hang up that phone so others have an opportunity to get through and to receive a message. It's just the most fair way to do it since the callers are chosen at random. If you do get through, just a couple things as you know, everybody. Just know what your question is. If it's psychic direction, not just whatever I see, what question do you have around a particular area? Let us just hone in so we can kind of get to it as quickly as possible. If it's a loved one, just let me know who that is. Let's see. Can't guarantee it by any means, but we can always give it a shot. And who's to say that there isn't a different loved one that decides they want to come through anyway? um, we have a great show tonight. I'm so excited to have everybody here. You know, last week we had Lauren Rainbow, which was really great. So we're going to have a blast tonight. Let us look at some caller. Oh, there's a lot of callers. A lot of callers. Listen for your area code. Remember to turn off that speaker. No speakerphone. No listening to me in the car while you're on the road. No listening over the internet. So just have that phone up to your ear. Okay. Let us see. How about 970? Hey, 970, you're on the air. Who is this?
Hi, Colby. It's Liz. How are you?
I'm well, sweetheart. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
What can I do for you tonight?
So I was hoping to connect with my grandpa.
Okay, great. Well, let's see if we get a few things here. It's interesting because I almost feel like your grandpa was put out kind of a different exterior to different people. Like I feel like with you, he's very playful and there's a real soft side to him. But I almost get a feeling with him that maybe when he was younger, he either would have been more strict with people or maybe would have oversaw people. Do you know what he used to do for work by chance?
So when he was younger, he entered the Marines when he was like 17, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was getting, that sense of service around him. But I think he did pretty well in the service because it makes me feel like he had a team under him. So I do feel like he was a bit of a leader. So it's kind of funny just because, you know, he took that very seriously. And again, there's that strict side to him, that kind of exterior. But honestly, I just feel like that melted away with you. I just don't think
I definitely believe that.
I just don't think he could even keep a straight face with you, you know, because even looking at him, he just keeps showing me a smile, right? And so I do know that there's a real strong playful side to him. There's like a strong listening side to him. So I do feel like even as you were in your teen and young adult, he was still in the living. Is that right? Just because I feel like he would be so good at giving you advice and things like this. Is that correct, Liz?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes,
then
he passed away when I was 17.
yeah, see,
But he was a great listener.
Oh,
I always
yeah.
told him everything, my boy problems.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's he has some good boyfriend advice. But that's what I was feeling, like that high school to that age range, and then it's like I don't quite feel him in the physical with you. And he gives me now it's I do feel like your grandpa was ill though prior to his passing. Is that correct? Did he have a heart issue or a lung issue that you're aware of, or cancer in the body that led to the heart or lung?
He definitely had a heart problem.
Okay.
He had a heart attack and a stroke
Yeah.
in like 1999.
Okay. I do feel like somehow this led to or contributed to the passing at some point, right? Just that toll on his body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the oddest thing.
Yeah.
I happen to see a cabinet, almost like I don't know if it's quite a gun cabinet. I feel like there might be a gun in a cabinet. Does that resonate at all? Can you remember that? Is that in his house or is it another relative's house?
Not that I can think of, no. I know, I mean, he didn't have a gun when I was little.
Okay.
I just remember him sick a
Yeah,
lot.
I feel like he is giving me maybe his father, or it makes me feel like there's a relative that he's giving me, and there would have been that person would have shot, either hunted or did some shooting, because I feel like he's referencing that he's with this person in spirit. So maybe it's your great grandfather, which I'm assuming you don't know too well, right, honey?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, he passed away, I think when my mom was little, and it's
okay.
funny because he was in the military. I'm not really sure what branch, but
You
he
know, be
was, and his sons were.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he was a sharpshooter. That would be, maybe kind of dig up and see a little bit. But your grandpa gives me, he
Yeah.
definitely gives me a feeling where I do see him with you, um, just kind of showing you, like, again, that playfulness, wanting to give you that advice, but really just wanting to not make you feel judged at all. I think he was really good at
Mhm.
making you feel safe, making you feel like, almost too, you know what I think he tried to do? I really feel like he tried to give you, like, confidence, like, "Don't let someone talk to you that way. Don't let that boy treat you that way."
Yeah, he
So there
definitely did, for
and
sure.
yeah, I do believe, which is really nice. Again, I know recognize him as being ill for many years. I feel like he, maybe at some point, back in the day, had been like a really good dancer, only because I saw really nice shoes. So I feel like your grandpa had been a good dancer. Do you know if he was, or have you heard?
I don't know. I know he was really silly and did, like, silly dances. Yeah, I don't really know. I remember him, like I said, when he was sick, and he was
Yeah.
he was like a little kid, and he was pretty goofy.
Yeah, it's just,
It was
I
pretty
bet you,
fun.
very fun, but I also feel like there's a sense where I believe that he would dance with your grandma. I believe that, so I feel like he was fun and goofy with you, but I think he was quite the handsome man when it came to the ladies. Like, he really,
That
really
makes
was
sense.
very, like, charismatic, very much had a winky eye, so to speak, and
Mhm.
I just get a feeling as well where, now, would he do magic tricks with you, or just tinkering, like with the coin behind the ear or the coin in the pocket, something like this?
It sounds familiar, but I don't remember. I know. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. I don't really remember.
Okay, and do you happen to know if he did the
That's what
nose
makes me
thing?
sad,
Oh,
is I don't remember a whole lot from when I was little, and then
okay.
when I turned 17, like I said, he passed away, and it
Yeah.
just makes me sad.
Well, he gives me a feeling of doing your nose. When someone looks like they took your nose away, that little thing that people do? I feel like he did that.
Yeah.
So maybe try to see if there's any loved ones around that you could validate, because I think it's just so cute, because he's just being very playful and very loving to you now, and just really letting you know, that he is around you, and that he is with you, and that it is about giving you that support. And it is so much about telling you, to own your worth too, especially in the males with the men.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there is that sense, and just letting you know that you don't happen to have a son, do you? Or is there a younger brother for you?
I have 2 younger brothers, and I actually have 2 sons.
I feel like he's recognizing your sons, to be honest, because I felt like it was more your sons. And so I feel like he's
Mhm.
recognizing your sons, and just letting you know that you've done a good job, in raising your young men. There's, like, letting you know that how proud he is of you. And it's like you're raising good
Mhm.
mannered men. Okay, honey? So just know that he's
Oh,
around
thank
you.
you.
All right. Okay. Lots of love to you, honey.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Bye
Same to
bye.
you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, hon. Bye
Bye.
bye. Okay, let us, take another caller. Here we go. Let's see. How about 707? Hey there, 707. This is Colby. Who is this?
Hi, this is Dylan.
Hi, Dylan. How are you, honey?
I'm good, thank you. That was a really good reading you just gave her. I'm in tears because of it.
Oh, thank you. Well, what can I do for you tonight, hon?
I was hoping to connect with my dad.
Oh, yeah,
and just
got it. Yeah,
see if
yeah. Let's see if he does it. I don't think this is going to be too
Okay.
hard at all because I can barely kind of finish talking to you and I feel him. And so that makes sense, right? Like your dad would have this presence about him. Does that make sense? Like I feel like there's just
Yeah.
this a bigness to him. Is that right? Like in his personality, there's a bigness, you know? Not
Yeah.
overbearing. Like I'm not getting the sense of overbearing, but a sense of like confidence with your dad, you know, and a sense of just kind of knowing who he is, sort of a feeling. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And
He was
also
very.
confident.
Go ahead.
Is he very confident?
Yeah.
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 He's very sure of himself, almost like the feeling of a lawyer or a doctor. You know how they like so know what they're doing? So that's
I
the
think he
sense.
just worked really hard to be good at what he did.
Well, he's very smart, and I get a sense that he's very, very smart and very savvy, you know? And I get a sense too where I also feel like your dad could fix things a lot as well. Is that right? Do you remember your dad fixing things or knowing how to fix something?
Kind of, I guess,
Because I feel like he could
in
fix
different
things.
ways.
Yeah, like, and I feel like I don't think like I don't think you would run to him when something was wrong, but I feel like he knew when something was wrong, so he would address it with you. He would like find that find that time to kind of get it out of you, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, he was one of the few people I could tell anything to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he shows me this memory. I feel like this is a memory where you're in bed and you're crying. We're going back a little bit, but I feel like you're really upset and you're crying over something and he's just sitting on the edge of your bed just talking to you. He's not trying to push you. He's not trying to prove a point. I feel like he's just there to try to make you feel better. Does that make sense? Do you remember that at all?
I don't necessarily remember that moment, but there were a lot of times where he did that, so I'm
Okay.
sure.
Okay. And he gives me a feeling too. He shows me a picture of your arms wrapped around his neck. And I do think
Oh,
does
are you serious? I have that picture right in front of me.
Oh, oh,
It's on my shelf right in front of me.
oh, honey. Well, he lets you know he's right there with you. He lets you know he's sitting right there. Are you sitting on the bed by chance?
I'm sitting on a couch, and the
Okay.
picture is right in front of me.
Oh, well, he's letting you know he's sitting right by you. Okay. So he's right there with you.
Oh.
And he's just like, again, I just feel like it was kind of shocking to see him pass away. I think just because he had been so strong, and he felt like he could conquer anything. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I feel
Yeah.
like to have him pass just feels like it was such a shock, you know?
It really was.
Yeah, and then there's also I'm not quite getting the passing. Let me tell you something. I'm getting the sense that maybe he was ill, but there's also like a quickness to the passing. So, was he ill and then maybe at the end it was quick or something like this?
Yeah, he was ill for years and years, but then all of a sudden my sister and I called him, and that morning the police were there. He had just passed away.
Yeah, it just feels like it
But
was
it was like he was choking or something. I'm not sure
Oh.
what he actually passed from, but it wasn't
Oh, it
the
doesn't
actual illness.
Yeah, it makes me it makes me feel like there's definitely a bit of a gasping for air, like he can't fully get a full breath. But
Uh-huh.
I'm not 100% sure it was choking. He's not giving me that. He's not showing me that it's choking. Well, not choking on a piece of food or choking on an object.
Right, it wasn't that.
Makes
Yeah,
me feel like
they
it's
still
something in
didn't
his
know exactly.
what I
Okay.
feel like, what he's giving me, just to kind of help you, okay? It almost feels like there's
Okay.
some fluid, and like the fluid is coming up, and he kind of couldn't get enough air with the fluid kind of coming up. That's so I feel
Yeah,
like
he was throwing up. I don't know if it
oh
was from his medication or what, but I think that's why he passed away.
yeah.
He was
So
like choking on his.
but
Yeah.
I want you to know that it just makes me feel like there was some underlying things that were really kind of coming together at one time. So I guess he just doesn't want you to try to worry that if somebody had gotten there sooner or somebody had found him, or like almost like you worry about that, like, oh my gosh, if somebody had just been there. But he
Yeah.
oh honey, he just lets me know, baby doll. It just makes me feel like it's almost like something was erupting inside all at once. Okay, so just kind of
Oh, okay.
just know that. And he also um now this is the oddest thing, because he doesn't, I know he's not that old. He shows me a crossword puzzle. Did your dad either do crossword puzzles, or have you been doing something with crossword puzzles at all by chance?
I mean, just a little with my daughter. I've been doing crossword
Okay,
puzzles.
got it. Yeah, so he's letting you know you're there, and then you're coloring with her too or something. Is that right?
I have been.
Yeah. So he's just letting you know that he's watching you. He's making sure that you're
Uh-huh.
okay. And your daughter's
Uh-huh.
pretty young, isn't she? Isn't she still pretty young?
I have 3, and they're all pretty young. Yeah.
Um there's one that kind of has her hair in pigtail or little pigtails a lot. Does that resonate?
Yeah, kind of the younger one.
Yeah.
Actually, they all have kind of been wanting pigtails lately. So
Okay, okay.
maybe,
I'll
but maybe the younger one.
I don't know. I'll have to ask you. I see a younger girl, like maybe under the age of 5. That's the feeling I'm getting. So she gives me like she's a little nugget, little one.
Oh, maybe that's my middle one, Paisley. I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. Would Paisley happen to have darker hair, or they all have darker hair, huh?
Oh no, actually no. The youngest one does. The youngest
Okay.
one
See,
does,
there we
and
go.
she's 3.
Okay. All right. So that's who I feel. I just feel like he's giving me her, like almost like, what he gives me too? Dora the Explorer. So there's a little bit of that feel. So it's more about like you being creative and you being adventurous with the girls. Like he loves to watch you interact with the girls. He really thinks it's a lot
Oh,
of fun. Okay. And
okay.
he's just letting you know that he's okay, sweetheart. Is today a birthday or a celebration? Is it, are we near one for someone?
We're near one for my nephew and then my niece, I guess.
Okay, okay. And that's your sister's kids, is that right then?
2 different sisters, yeah.
Okay,
But I do
okay.
have a sister that has a
Mhm.
boy, yeah, in 4
Okay.
days or
So
a couple days.
he
His
wants to
birthday.
see, he wants to acknowledge them as well. So he doesn't want to leave any of the grandbabies out. So
That's so sweet.
he's just letting me know, okay? So anyhow, lots of
Aw.
love to you, honey. Know that he's okay. And he gives you big kisses and a big flashy smile. So just know that he's okay, all right?
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night, honey.
You too. I
All right.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Okay. All right. So let us take another caller. Let's see. How about 253? Hey 253, you're on the air. Who is this? Hello 253. Let me see. They could probably hear me. Let's see where they are, or did they hang up, or did I not answer them? They must have hung up. All right, here we go. Let us do 805. Hey 805, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello,
Hi there. Who is this?
it's Keith.
Hi, Keith, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Colby?
I am good. I'm good. What can I do for you tonight, honey?
Okay. I first of all, I want to say I love you dearly,
Oh,
and I have I lost my nephew last year, and I was hoping he might come through for well,
okay.
come through.
Okay, got it. Let's see if we can do this, Keith. And he's not very old when he passes, is that right? He doesn't feel
Correct.
very old to me, but he feels like um but he definitely feels very charming to me. Like there's a charmingness to him. Like I think he could talk to anybody. Does that resonate? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Almost like I think he's quite good looking. Like he could have been an actor.
Very,
um
very handsome.
yes. And he also gives me, now this would have been a quick passing. Am I right? Like I feel like this is quick. Um and definitely
Yes.
unexpected for the family. Like I feel like especially
Yes.
his mother. His mother is still in the living. Am I correct with that?
Correct.
Okay. And I do feel like there's almost I don't know if there's foreign substances in his body, but would you know that or not know that connected to this passing?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like again, I almost feel like either there's injections or he's kind of having a fun. I almost feel like this is something he struggled with a bit. Does that resonate? Was he struggling with some substance use uh, um
Absolutely.
and I just feel like I feel like his parents had either tried to get him help or tried to put him in a rehab, and maybe it just feels like it wasn't as successful, obviously, as they had hoped it had been.
Right on.
And you know
Right
what's
on,
really
Colby.
hard? I think he had some friends that like he would have known, and then I think he went to rehab, and then when he came back out, like those friends didn't care about him enough to kind of stay away. I feel like they still kept kind of coming back to him, and it was just him getting in that circle again and getting around those people that just kind of seemed to pull him back in. And I get a feeling
I,
from go ahead, is
I'm
that
not
right?
so sure about that. I'm
Oh,
not so sure about that part.
okay, you don't know. Okay. I just get a sense from him where I just feel like too though, I don't know. Honestly, when I tune into him, I feel such a desire to want to get healthy. I feel such like he really feels like he really, really wanted to. I just feel like he just got too tempted. It's like all he keeps showing me is like,
Yeah.
I just couldn't resist.
Yeah.
um and
Yeah.
he also was there a move right before the passing, or do you know that if he was either moving or talking about moving or something like this happening?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Again, I get a sense from him that he's very excited. Is there a Brian connected anywhere, or do you know if the name a B name or a Brian is connected anywhere within the family or his friends? You may not know his friends well enough.
No.
Okay,
I mean, I can't answer that for
that's all
sure.
right, sweetheart. That's all right. I do feel like either you tried to reach out to him or you were trying to say, "Hey, if you need anything, I'm here." Is that right? You were reaching out?
I actually didn't know how bad it was,
Uh-huh.
but um, that's all I can say. But with that, but yeah, I definitely would have.
Okay. He gives me a feeling where I just feel like the people around him he really loved. Like I do feel like his family he loved. He makes me feel like he has siblings as well. So does he have a sister or something like this? Do you know?
He does. He does.
Okay.
He does have a sister.
Okay, because he just recognizes his siblings. He makes me feel I feel like he loved you very much though. So I feel like he felt
He did. He
yeah,
did.
I feel like he felt close to you. I feel like he didn't want to disappoint you. There's something about there must be a big, like there's almost a father figure feeling you have to him, because I feel like he didn't want to quite disappoint you. So,
You're
and
you're right on top.
okay. Okay. And then he shares with me where I feel like if and the one thing about it is I think you saw the good in him and it's not hard like he's such a kind person and again I just don't feel like this passing it doesn't feel intentional but it just feels where I don't think I almost feel like he felt like he didn't have choices, so to speak. So there's just that
Hmm.
sense, okay? a little bit of
Yeah.
feeling a bit down, like even though he was excited about certain things and excited about this new move and this opportunity, I just feel like there's something where I think he battled with his own self-worth a little. So, um
I think so. I think so.
anyhow, he definitely wants to let you know he loves you. Um definitely wants to let you know
And
that,
I love him.
yeah,
And I love him deeply.
and there's just this feeling where he's throwing a bunch of names at me. I'm not sure. Is there a John connection, or either a John or a T
Yeah.
name? Okay. And then there's a T name as well, like a Tom or a Tyler or a Taylor. Do you recognize that?
Um, I don't know his friend,
Okay.
his friend's relationship or any of that. Um, Possibly.
Okay, because he gives me the feeling. I just feel like he had a lot of friends. I really do. I think that this kid,
Yes, he
uh,
did.
he
He
just
did.
makes. So I feel like I just almost like he's giving some shout outs to some friends and some girls.
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah. I'm
and the
sure.
girls. So anyhow, I will leave that with you, honey. You have a beautiful night. Lots of love to you. Just know that he's okay. All right.
Thank you so much, Colby. That makes me feel good, and I will share this with his mother and father.
Yeah, please do. And one last thing around that, if you don't mind, is just especially mom. Can you just tell her it's not her fault? I just feel like for some reason she really like blames herself. She really feels like she holds this blame for something that happened either that day or that was going on with him. And I just feel like he wants to tell her not to blame herself, to please not do that.
I will. Yes, she's a very, very closed person, and she doesn't show her feelings
Yeah.
like a lot of us do.
Yeah.
And I will. I will give her that. But the only other thing I want to ask you is, can I ask you anything?
It depends. I gotta take as many callers as I can. So what's your
Yeah,
one
yeah.
thing you want to
Um,
ask?
well, he did have an ex-wife, and he had
Yeah.
a child. Is there
Okay.
anything coming through?
Mostly for the child. So I just feel like for the baby, I don't. Well, this is weird. There wouldn't happen to be a custody battle around the baby, is there? Or something where he.
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like he wants to make sure that whatever his family needs to do to fight for the best care of the baby, because I think that there's a little worry maybe around that ex-wife. I don't know if I don't know her and I don't want to wag fingers. So I don't know if maybe she's struggling with
No, no.
something, but I just feel like he wants to make sure that his baby is definitely like taken care of and protected almost by like his family's the sense I'm getting.
Okay. Thank you, babe.
Okay, does that help?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. That was really right on. Thank
Okay.
you, Colby.
You're what? Lots of love, Ken. Lots of love. Bye.
Love you.
Bye, hun. All right, let us do that. Isn't that tough? You leave behind people, and I think it's so hard for addicts, because I think it's just one of those things where I don't feel that most addicts wanna be addicts. They just can't quite figure out how to get out of it, and addiction is so crazy and it's so tough. Dr. Drew's one of my friends, so I am not the doctor and I am not the expert, but connecting to spirit and what they give, that's what I get from it. That's what I get a lot from the other side if they did have addiction problems, and just kind of having those conversations with Drew, and just the sense we get, especially when we're talking about clients in readings, in passed on, and there's just that sense where I feel like once they transition they start to realize it. But man, sometimes people have such a will. They have such a will to want to kind of clean up their life or to do good or to make it better, but they're just trapped, and it's sad. I really do wish either there was a better system to help them, or something that would make it a little easier for people to kind of correct their life when it does go off path. But lots of love. Oh, he's actually a lot of fun. He's definitely a lot of fun. Alrighty. So how about 469? Hey, 469, you're on the air. Who is this?
Hi, Colby. My name's Christina Fisher. How are you doing?
I am well, Christina Fisher. What can I do for you today, honey?
Well, I'm hoping you can connect with my husband or my mother.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like one of them is trying to get a message to me, and I'm not quite sure what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what's interesting, I got to be honest, I kind of feel both of them together, but I definitely feel your husband to be a bit more pushy. So I do feel like when I'm tuning into this, I feel like it's your husband. It's almost like, not saying that he liked to lay down the law, but he liked to think he knew everything. So he always liked to think he was right. So So I feel like
Yes.
he's coming in to try to direct your life now, like, oh, are you sure that's what you want to do? Are you sure that's
Yeah.
yeah, so he gives me this feeling that this is more, but your mom, I have to tell you, I am curious, Christina, have you happened to see butterflies? Are you noticing them at all lately? Or is that a sign for you for your mom at all?
Yeah. So actually, I have been seeing a lot of butterflies.
Yeah, that is your mom. So it's her, but she's more trying to bring fun in. I think she's trying to bring fun in, to try to kind of help you. Gosh, I hate to say lighten up, but maybe you've been feeling a bit heavy lately. Does that make sense? Like you just been feeling a bit.
That
Um,
makes that makes perfect sense.
okay,
My life has been very heavy.
yeah, it just feels like. So she's just trying to have fun, like she's coming in try to cheer you up. It's like, I swear I can see her almost coming into your room, pulling up the blind, saying, all right, let's go, the day's getting on, here we go, come on, let's go. So
That would
that's her.
be my mom.
and so I feel like what's happening is, honestly, sweetheart, I don't know if have you just been real sluggish, and I don't want to. Oh, I mean this with love, but have you been a little lazy, or just like not getting off the couch, or is there something like this happening?
I feel very exhausted and
Okay.
tired.
Yeah. Are you laying on the couch a lot, or laying down a lot? Like maybe needing naps, things like
No,
this?
I've been more at my computer a lot.
Are you I got to get your husband is giving this so clear to me, so I just want to try to honor him in sorting it out, okay? You're
Okay.
not vegging, watching TV. You're not just kind of at the end of the day just completely kind of crashing. No?
No, I more watching TV, and yeah, I can see where that's coming in.
Okay, you can see why he's
Like I
giving it.
don't sleep as much. Yes.
He It's almost like I feel like he's trying to come in and just push you. So you've got two of these people who love you very much. Like your husband,
Mhm.
I think, just was bold or had a lot of energy. And and it was like when he wanted to go, we went. And I just
Yes.
feel like for him, he's trying to do that for you. It's like he's trying to pick you up, trying to get you out of the chair, get you off the couch, or get you maybe from trying to numb yourself, so to speak, right? And
Right.
so I feel like he's doing that a lot as well, which is why you're feeling them. And I do. Is he playing with your electric, or like your computer or the lights? Like it just makes me feel like he's trying to get your attention that way.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's almost
Actually, that's been happening a lot in my closet. The motion sensor light
okay.
keeps going off and on.
Okay, because he's letting me know about that. Um, he's given me a sense too where I don't know what it is around this passing. I just feel like you're upset about the passing, obviously, but I almost feel like was
Right.
there something where he wasn't is he either somewhat responsible for this or not taking care of himself? Does that make sense at all? Like I almost feel like he's giving me a little bit of that around it.
He's responsible for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just makes me feel like he feels, because this like he he feels so responsible, and he just feels to be upset about
Yeah.
it, and he feels to be like um he feels to have been disorganized.
Yeah.
Like, did he leave you like he shows me a desk with like a lot of paperwork on it. So I almost feel like he either didn't get things organized before he
Yeah.
passed. Does that make sense? Um
I think,
and
yeah, his pretty much
yeah,
the whole thing was theft.
and
That
yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
and he just feels, and he does feel bad about this. Like he just definitely makes me feel like there's a depression around this. Do you know if he was dealing with some
Oh yeah.
depression? Okay.
Oh yeah. He was.
I am now. He just yes or no. It's okay, sweetheart. Am I correct that he took
Mhm.
his life? Is that correct or not correct?
Yes,
Okay. And then would you
that's
know?
correct.
I almost feel like he either took some medication, but then maybe either hung himself, or there's almost like two things
Mhm.
happening. Do you know if that to be true or not true?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if what he may have taken or ingested, but yes, he did. He did
Okay.
hang himself.
Yeah, I feel like he took again, if you didn't do a toxicology, but I almost feel like he took some things that would make him a little fuzzy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So that he
I
wasn't
think maybe.
like almost like an
Yeah.
allergy pill or a sleeping pill, or you know what I mean? Like it almost feels
Mhm.
like it could have been something over the counter. Anyhow, it doesn't really matter. I don't want to get too into it. But I feel like he's just letting you know, oh, that he's so sorry. He's just so
Right.
sorry. And now did he leave behind two kids? Do you have two kids, or you have a child or something like this?
No. Well, he has a son, but no, we didn't have any children
All right.
together. But we did have 2 dogs
Okay. He makes me I feel like
that were like our children.
I know, honey. I do feel like he's referring to his son, because he wants to
Right.
acknowledge his son. But he also gives me this feeling of just leaving the whole burden on you. And again, I do know that he's very sorry about this. And
Mhm.
real one last thing here. I just feel like we had all thought he was the strong one, like he was the one making the rules. He feels like he helped people a lot. He feels like he had been so
Uh-huh.
like he had this aura being so strong and so helpful, almost like I don't know, almost like a policeman or something. You know what I mean? Like there's just that like do you understand that? Like a volunteer policeman or fireman or something like this?
He helped a lot of people, but no, he wasn't. He
Okay.
probably he would have rushed into danger, but to save people.
Yeah, he
But
just
no,
made
he did have a very big personality about him, though.
yeah, and I just feel like around him that people or even you, I think people thought he had it all together. And I know you saw this other side of him, but I don't think you quite thought it would be this bad. So anyhow, he just wants to tell you that he's sorry, and he's sorry that he left this all on you. But really, he wants to encourage you to get up, like to move, to get out of that office chair, to get off that couch, to stop watching like I feel like
Right.
they want you, both of them are kind of in cohorts together to kind of get you out, and to kind of get you
Like, you need to
moving.
exercise.
Yeah, a little bit of they keep wanting me to like have you walk, even if it's around the block, okay? So I
Right.
I do hope that that helps, okay, sweetheart?
It does. It does.
Okay. All right, you have a
So
beautiful
thank you.
night. You're welcome. You have a
You too.
beautiful night, Christina.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye,
All right.
honey. All right, let's do one more. All right, I see 253 back in. I think I hung up on 253. Is this hello 253?
Hello.
Hi there. Who is this?
Hello. Oh, I'm Peggy.
Hi, Peggy. I think I either hung up on you or I did something. I'm sorry, baby doll. What can I do for you
No,
tonight?
I did it.
Okay.
I did that.
Did you chicken out?
I'm just wondering if there's any messages from spirit here for me.
All right, Peggy. Here's a thing I feel around it. Peggy, I gotta tell you, what do I have? Just like a minute left, right? I feel like around you there's a lot of change happening. Like I feel like you're a little bit in a vortex. Like I feel like a lot of things. You know, it's almost like some things I think are getting turned upside down on you a little bit. But I feel like spirit's trying to say, hey, listen. It's about kind of almost going to your next step, going to your next level. So I feel like there's like either you've been working on yourself or working on your higher self, working on your own connection. Have you been doing any of that? Does that make sense to you?
But yeah, actually, it kind of does. It
Okay.
kind of does.
And it's almost
I've
like,
just been with.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, they're making me feel like you're
It's
peeling away
kind of
layers.
like with all the stuff going on, with all the, stay at home type thing. You're kind of just getting your stuff in order. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And they're just showing me you like peeling away things, purging things, like really kind of letting go what's not important, or realizing like, hey, I could live this simply. I kind of enjoy this. I've been making it
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've been making it too hard on myself. And it's almost like encouraging you to get back to some hobbies that you enjoy. They showed me you gardening. Do you happen to enjoy gardening or being out in nature in that way?
No, I really hate it, but I really am not a gardener. But I have been just planting. I got some plants, and I was just planting those. But it's definitely not my
Not
fun
you,
thing.
girl. Peggy, let me. So it's funny that they are showing that because it is really good for you, right? It is good for you, but that is so much like me cooking. I don't like. I'm a pretty good cook, though. I am. I am. I don't want to be too hard on myself. I just don't really. I don't enjoy it. You know how some people find it so relaxing and meditative. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope. I'd rather go to my sushi and pay for it.
Yeah, that's me in gardening.
Yeah, I know, but I am telling you for sure that they are so happy to see you doing this because as you're doing it, you are connecting. You are really going inwards and they just feel that to be so good. I just really feel like there's a change for you this year, maybe in your work. I don't know. It's almost like I see you either thinking of doing something different or not working as hard or maybe even not retire. You don't feel like you're ready. It's not really retirement, but there's a change in it for sure. So, have you been looking at your work
Oh.
and what you're doing, or something like this?
Yeah, a little bit, because we haven't been working, but I kind of feel like when it's time for me to retire, that I'm not going to be able to retire just because staying home isn't always that great. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I need something to do.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think it would be more of a semi-retirement for you. I'm not a real. I don't honestly, Peggy. I wish I could tell you that you're gonna retire and head down to Florida and live by the water and live out your days in a gated community, but that's not what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But you will be contributing. I think you're going to kind of find a way to help others. You're going to find a way to keep doing what you're doing, but just not at the level that you're doing it. There is going to be taking a step back, but not full on kicking back, relaxing. So, and
Okay.
they just want to let you know it's really about though kind of starting to work on what you would enjoy. What would that next step look like for you? And how would that kind of come in,
Yeah.
okay?
Yep.
So
Yep.
you've got
That's kind of
some
what I've been trying to figure out. So I
yeah.
wasn't sure.
Can I ask real quick before we go, what is it you do now?
I work in a front office and in a dental
Yeah.
office.
I was feeling medical, but then I was thinking my logical brain was like, well, if it's medical, she'd be working right now. But
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
think
No,
dental.
that's what I intended to do was
Okay.
medical, but
Okay,
I got into dental.
Okay, got it. Yeah, like I said, I don't quite feel, um, what would be not, I don't want to put that on you, but almost like the idea of a librarian. It's not librarian. I don't want you to think I'm putting you in a library, but I definitely see you in a position where someone kind of needs something and you're there to help facilitate it for them. So a little bit more of a bigger
Oh,
picture. Yeah, so I think it's something along those lines that I feel like you would really enjoy and be really, really good at.
oh,
So maybe
okay.
sit
Well,
with
that's
that.
good.
Sit with that while you're planting and then see what seeds start to sprout for you, okay?
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Well, lots of
Uh,
love to you,
Thank
okay?
you.
All right, you have a good night.
Thank
All
you
right.
too. Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, Peggy. All right, everybody. That is the end of our show. I hope you enjoyed it tonight. Do me a favor, if you're near iTunes, can jump on iTunes, leave a review for the Colby Rebel Show, or even if you're on Stitcher, Podcast, SoundCloud, any of those good things. You can listen to all of the episodes. I mean, I have been binge watching podcasts like crazy lately. I'm a big crime junkie person, so I've been binge watching or listening, going on walks. So you can always listen to the show. You can watch it on YouTube. There's so many episodes between Coffee with Colby and the Colby Rebel Show. You'll be able to tune in, have some fun, kick back with me. And anyhow, I am so excited again to have you all here. Thank you for joining in. There were so many callers, and I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody. My apologies. But lots of love to you. Try back next week. Next week is our Vino and Voices with Jennifer Schaefer. So make sure you tune in. And don't forget that beginner's class as well. If that is something you would be interested in, sign up and join me. All right, everybody, have a beautiful day. I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Colby Rebel Show. Be sure to follow Colby on social media at Psychic Rebel. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please head on over to iTunes to leave a review to help Colby grow the tribe. Colby is an international psychic medium, teacher, best-selling author, and speaker. She is a master teacher of the Lisa Williams International School of Spiritual Development and is the owner of the Colby Rebel Spirit Center in Los Angeles. Visit colbyrebel.com.